I wanted to make this video. I actually made a video yesterday, but it accidentally got deleted. But I'm going to try this over and make it more perfect than last time. Anyway, I wanted to talk about natural hair and this ideal that certain hair types are unmanageable and natural hair is not for everyone. Basically, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, a couple of days ago, I got into this argument with a YouTuber about natural hair because she had made a dread giving natural hair tips. And one of her tips was stop putting down girls with perms. Natural hair is not a lifestyle for everyone, or it's not a lifestyle that many are ready for. Okay, I get that she meant that natural hair is hard to take care of, but my thing is how it was worded. It came off as saying that natural hair is a lifestyle, and for her to promote this ideal as someone with 3C hair, it came off as saying there are good natural hairs and then there are bad natural hairs. Like that's basically what she was saying, and it just did not come off right. And another natural hair Twitter user had quoted her and said, everyone has natural hair. You still have to take care of your hair. For people to promote this ideal that if you get perms, you don't have to take care of your hair as much, that's bullshit because, as I and others have said, taking care of natural hair is no more difficult than taking care of straight hair or any other hair on your head. You have to take care of it. But in a natural hair community or in any community, black women are taught that if your hair is too coarse, too thick, and too curly and too coily, we're just not going to bother taking care of it. We're just going to slap a perm in it and hope that it lasts. Something like that. And then you see a lot of girls with very thin hair. Their hair is thinning. Their hair is not as long as it should be because there is a difference between having short hair naturally or cutting your hair short and simply having hair that will not grow because of the fact you are not properly taking care of it. And for this girl to make it seem as if natural hair is something that is a choice, it made me think, is that a choice that every woman has or just black women? I asked her that question and she just ignored it altogether. She was basically telling me that I was in my feelings, that I misinterpreted her. She was actually very rude to a lot of people who had commented saying, well, what do you mean by lifestyle? Because it comes across as you're saying that natural hair is not for everyone. That's basically what it sounded like. And people were defending her like, well, she just meant that taking care of natural hair is so difficult and not everyone is apt for that lifestyle of taking care of your hair all of the time. But I feel like when it comes to our hair, so many black women are pressured to doing their hair a certain way where you have to have it looking all pretty and all flowy and curly and very loose. And I follow one YouTuber who described curly hair as closer to straight hair. That the reason why so many people glorify loose curly hair in the natural hair community because it is closer to straight hair. It may not be straight hair, but it's certainly closer to the ideal of Eurocentrism and having straight hair like a white woman. And not every white woman has straight hair, but the stereotype of what it means to be Eurocentric. And I originally called her out because I actually was not rude. It wasn't really a call out. I just simply said politely, I actually look down on girls who have perms that always have something to say about my hair and always want to dictate how I should wear my hair. And that's the type of people I look down upon because for you to look down on my hair, but you think because you have perm in your hair that you're better, you know, I'm not going to think very highly of you. I'm going to think that you're annoying and a piece of shit. I basically just quoted a girl and said, I look down on girls with, no, actually, I didn't say I said, a lot of us look down on girls with perms when they give out misinformation on our hair, but always have something to say about natural hair. She was trying to distance herself from that by saying, well, not all of us, because I certainly don't do that. If you don't want to talk about people who don't know shit about natural hair, that's fine. But to victimize them as these innocent people who just simply get their hair straightened and never talk shit about natural hair, that's a lie. Shit, I fucked that up. That's a lie. That's alive. Ugh. It's not even a Freudian slip I just made. I just have some speech problems. Anyway, for her to act as if girls with relaxers and perms are victims of the curly headed crew, I'm just not buying it, especially when I have hair that's considered ugly, that's considered not as beautiful as straight hair. But apparently, I have a superiority complex over girls with straight hair because at the end of the day, a girl with a perm can get hired over me because of my hair. Unless I put a perm in it, or unless I get braids, or not even braids, unless I get like straight weave, then I can't get hired a lot of times. So I just don't have sympathy for girls with perms who look at other girls with natural hair, and when they try to talk about our hair and we give them facts about, well, you can certainly take care of your own hair, you just don't. Then they get their feelings hurt like, oh, you think you're better than us because you have a hairstyle that's not chemically processed. And I just don't get it because so many times we're told that perms are mandatory. We need to put a perm in our hair. Like so many times we've been told to put perms in our hair. And then when we reject that notion, then suddenly it's us that's the problem. That, oh, you think you're better than other girls because you don't put a perm in your hair. And I feel like a lot of times it comes from this ideal that it's no longer the popular opinion to get straight hair. It's no longer the popular opinion to have hair that's straight. So when other people are saying, I like natural hair, I actually prefer it compared to straight hair, so many black people who try to conform to the ideal of Eurocentric beauty standards is like, well, I did all this shit for nothing. Like, how dare you? And it's basically, well, get with the winning team, ho. Like, it's not even about your hair is ugly. It's just the fact that your hair is fine the way it is. I don't care if you have it straight. I don't care if you have a weave in it. I don't care if you have braids in it because I wear weave. I wear braids all of the time. I'm just not wearing braids currently. But for people to get upset because girls with natural hair are getting attention, and not even girls with like the loose curly hair, it's usually girls with like the very nappy 4C hair like my hair, where some people are like, I prefer that hair. I think it looks pretty on you. I think, you look natural with that. It's like, fine. There's a difference between people who say, I prefer your hair that way, than someone saying, oh, you look much prettier with your hair out when it's natural than if you have a weave in it, because it's very condescending and we should be able to wear our hair however we want. But for this girl to promote this ideal that, oh, some people just don't like natural hair, and for her to not want to talk about how that influences people's perception of beauty, I just was not buying it. I was not buying that she was coming from a place of sincerity, especially when she was a girl with very loose curly hair trying to talk to a girl with very kinky coily hair, and for her to act as if we had some sort of common ground because she was trying to speak for me and say, well, I'm a natural myself, and I am clearly not anti-natural if I have a channel for natural hair girls. And her channel is purely Kais, I believe, or Case. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. She's very popular. Apparently, she has a lot of followers. You know, Usually I don't care if people have a following like that, but they are somewhat problematic. But I don't think it's a good idea to always promote someone or to support someone who is clearly erasing the voice of another girl who has natural hair. I clearly told her, as a girl who has natural hair, I'm always made to feel inferior because my hair is not relaxed, or because my hair doesn't look the way that other girls expect it to look. And it's usually girls with perms who have something to say about my hair, try to sit there and tell me, well, let me do something to your hair to make it look like you have good hair, or let me do something to it. And they always give me misinformation, and I just don't know why my hair isn't doing the way I want it to, because a lot of people are giving me bad advice on how to do my hair. And for this girl to basically dismiss it, but to basically sympathize with girls who have perms, it just did not sit well with me, because it seemed as if she was saying it's okay to get a perm if your hair isn't the way that it should be. Like if your hair is too difficult and unmanageable and it's just not that right type of curly, then go ahead and get a perm. But everyone else, if your hair is manageable and you like it, okay, you don't need a perm. But if your hair is not manageable and if your hair isn't the way that it should be, if you want a perm, get it. And that's not the message that I'm trying to promote. I'm trying to promote that if you want a perm, go ahead. But a lot of times when people get perms, it comes from a place of ignorance because they don't know how to take care of natural hair, so they just put a perm in it instead of learning. If you have a perm and you're not ready to transition to natural, that's different, because so many of us grew up with perms because our parents just said fuck it and put a perm in our head. But a lot of us simply just don't know how to take care of our hair, so we think perms are easier when we finally look at our hair and see that it's thinning, that is not as healthy as it should be, or our edges are a little bit messed up. We wonder why, but it's because we're not properly taking care of our hair. We're just putting relaxers in it and we think that it's going to be all right. No. But anyway, with this whole situation with that YouTuber, she was very rude. She was rude to a lot of people trying to understand what she was saying, because I guess she didn't want to look like a problematic person and she felt that people were trying to come for her. But the issue I had was when we had agreed to disagree, I simply stopped talking to her. What she did was go on my page, find a tweet that was made in reference to her but was not directed to her, quoted it, and said, well, what does my having 3C hair have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with it. For her to sit there and make these comments about not everyone likes natural hair. It is what it is, and it's a choice to go natural. And for her to basically be so flippant, I said it's funny that a girl with 3C hair is telling a girl with 4C hair about natural hair and talking to her like she's ignorant. She was rude first because I came at her politely and respectful. She pretty much laughed and said, you think natural hair is easy or something? I said, I didn't say that. I said it's not as hard as you're making it out to be. You're making it out to be like it's just completely impossible and that it's unmanageable, and that if girls can't take care of their hair, then go ahead and put a perm in it. And she's like, you're the only one that's making it out that way. And she was just being very condescending. She was putting words in my mouth while accusing me of putting words in her mouth. She was like, oh, you clearly think that you're better than girls with relaxed hair. I didn't say that. I said a lot of times they are ignorant about natural hair and they don't understand how natural hair works. And then they sit there and give us misinformation about our own hair when they really shouldn't have an opinion on natural hair when they haven't had a perm in years. My mom hasn't had a perm in like 30 or 36 years. She probably hasn't seen an Afro pick since 1980, but she's always telling me how to take care of my hair and what to do. She knows how to plait, okay? She knows how to plait hair, but every time my hair comes out curly and full, she always takes a comb and just starts brushing all the curls out. And I'm like, Mom, you're not supposed to do that. You're just supposed to let it like out. You're not supposed to just comb the hair out and make it, as straight as possible or give it a blown out look, because I don't want that look. I just want a natural curly look. But when she plaits my hair, she just takes a comb and just starts brushing it out. And she doesn't really know how natural hair works because she hasn't had natural hair in so long. And it just frustrates me because I wasn't trying to come at her all wrong. I wasn't in the mood to drag anyone. I was just like, hey, I like what you do. I don't really know you, but I think it came off problematic. The comment was a little bit hurtful because it just seems as if you're saying natural hair is not for everyone. But she was very defensive and she put me on the defensive. Needless to say, she had blocked me because when she had responded to that tweet of mine that was not directed at her, I did not add her. I simply told her, hey, this conversation is over. Like, I thought we had agreed to disagree. I don't understand why you're lurking on my page when you said that this conversation was over and I agreed. But she was, I guess, trying to find a reason to block me or to look like we had had this huge argument, and she finally had to just say, block. Fine. I went on my other account and this guy had responded to her and called me a crazy shorty. So I'm crazy because I basically was trying to tell her that not everyone has the same hair type, and to promote this ideal that okay, you can get a perm if your hair isn't something that is apt to your lifestyle. I'm just like, no, because there was another girl who said that her hair wasn't decent. I asked her, what is your ideal of a decent hairstyle? She's like, like a decent curl pattern. I said, curls aren't mandatory. All you need to do is just like take care of your hair and put the right stuff in it. She ignored me completely. But when that girl said, I can help you with your hair, she was like, oh, thank you so much. Because this girl had a looser curl pattern and she was determined to promote this ideal that curls are the best and we should have like a defined curl pattern. So when I was trying to tell her, no, that's not necessary, your hair is fine, she just did not want to listen. So I don't know, because I feel like a lot of these beauty bloggers have this internalized misogyny or misogynoir, where if another girl tries to correct her, especially if she IDs as a feminist or womanist, they want to act as if, well, you don't know what you're talking about and talk down to them, and then have all these guys cape for them and call that girl crazy, and for her to just say, oh, she was asking for it. Like, really, bitch? For you to sit there and call me crazy with a little misogynistic boy, it just shows that you have internalized misogyny, because I just felt as if she thought, oh, I'm popular with all of these followers, and, she's not, like, she's no one, so I can sit there and talk down to her, because it was so funny that she had nothing to say to other people, but for some reason she just sort of felt like she could pick on me when I was trying to be nice. I didn't say anything disrespectful to her. The only thing that came off a little shady was when I was like, well, a 3C girl is trying to tell me how to do my hair, or trying to call me ignorant because I'm saying that natural hair shouldn't be looked at as a lifestyle. And when she said natural hair is a choice, I said, is it a choice for every woman or just women who aren't, you know, everybody else in the world? Is it a choice for women who aren't, you know, non-black or who aren't white? Like, that's what I said. Like, how come it seems to be a choice for us, but not every other woman? They can just wear their hair however they want, but we have to have a binary of natural or perms. Let's think about that for a second.